Hello wonderful people, and welcome back fellow hunters to our third part of this playthrough in Bloodborne. This episode is the most important until now. The reason for that, it's the first episode we deviate from the norm. Here is where we actually go arcane, this episode at last. So the first thing we're going to be doing, I was farming twin bloodstone shards. So the first thing we're going to be doing is upgrading our flame sprayer to +6. Before we go Cathedral Ward, I just forgot that we need to equip our runes. After beating the Witch of Hemwick, we can actually equip runes from after getting the item, Rune Workshop Rune, or whatever. What was it called again? Let's just check. After you get the Rune Workshop tool, that's when you can actually memorize runes. So let's memorize 3. As you can see, we have 3 slots, and there's a 4th one, Oath Memory. Basically, this one tells you which covenant you're affiliated with. Of course, they're not called covenant in this game, but if you play Dark Souls, you understand what I mean. So the first one we're gonna be taking is Air. More blood echoes from visceral attacks, because really there's not a lot of things to put now. We don't have a lot of runes. The second one is Formless Odin, or Odin, so we can have a bit more bullets. Not very important, but that's the runes we have now. And the third one we're going to be equipping is Lake, physical damage reduction +3. We can take Communion, but I do think 20 is more than enough, 20 heals. So let's take Lake, and now let's go to Cathedral Ward. So remember, after killing the blood-starved beast, I told you that there were enemies, the snatchers, that pop up. First, let's kill this guy. Okay. So remember this snatcher, I told you there are 2 that pop up here around Cathedral Ward. There's another one too. So unfortunately I was actually farming them for bloodstone shards, and I killed them way too many times, and then I was sloppy and one of them killed me, and I actually got kidnapped on this playthrough. But I did record the kidnapping, so I'll just let him kill me just for the sake of it. Although we won't go to that new area, but I will just transition it with the editing. So after this guy, he kills you, you actually go to a new area. So this is where we spawn after we get kidnapped, and this door will be closed. However, you can just open it. Don't tell me why. This is the worst kidnapping ever in history. Like, who kidnaps you and leaves you in a room that you can open the door to? But whatever, I guess. Yo, you can still close it, I guess. Never knew that. Oh, can I open? Okay, I can still open it. So after we come here, we're in a new area after we getting killed. Of course, the first time around when this happened to me, I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I was of course pissed off because of my blood echoes. I actually lost them at the time because I didn't know how to return. So there's a message over here, let's read that. Madmen toil superstitiously in rituals to beckon the moon, uncover their secrets. So a little hint. Let's continue our way. So this is optional area, you don't have to come here at this time, although you will pass here later on. So we can hear an NPC over there. And remember I told you that one of the things that we taken was to complete a quest, which is, what armor was that? What was the Black Church garb. However, there are many clothes or attire in the game that are considered healing church. Gascoigne is one of them. Because remember I told you he was with the healing church. So the trick here is if I talk to her without having any hunter attire, she will be scared from us. Let me show you.
Oh, please leave me be. Don't take me, please. Oh please, dear God.
But once I wear healing church armor, so let's wear Gascoigne's. You just need the chest piece.
By your garb, the healing church. You've come to save me. Oh, thank you, dear saint. I have no words to express my relief. this, at least. It's sure to please an upstanding member of the church like you. Oh, thank you so much, dear gods. Thank you so much. I was seized on the street by a hulking brute in the cathedral ward and locked up here. There were many others, but they've been taken away. And I've heard moans echoing in the distance ever since. So, the hunt is on tonight. Then the streets are perilous, and every door will be shut tight. Perhaps it isn't my place to ask, but do you know somewhere that might take me in? Yes, I see. I understand. Such are the perils on a night of the hunt. I'll ask an acquaintance in the cathedral ward. Perhaps he'll open his door for me. Perhaps. Yes, I'll be fine. I do not wish to trouble you any further. You're a hunter, aren't you? I pray for success on your hunt. I'll be fine. I don't wish to trouble you any further. I'll ask an acquaintance in the cathedral ward. Unless you know of another place? Oh, thank you so much. I'll set out as soon as I can. I pray for success on your hunt, kind hunter.
So she's one of the members of the Healing Church. She asks us of a safe place. We tell her about you, the Olden Chapel. So we'll see her there. These enemies, I told you, you parry them, then backstab them. That's the best way. They do tremendous damage, so you want to watch out. And they do drop bloodstone shards too. Twin bloodstone shards too, if you want to farm them. Okay, we've got a new rune. Let's read that quickly. It says, more echoes from slain enemies. So it's very, very good rune. A secret symbol left by Coral, runesmith of Bergenworth. A transcription of Moon, as spoken by the Great Ones inhabiting the Nightmare. Gain more blood echoes. The Great One that inhabits the Nightmare are sympathetic in spirit and often answer when called upon. So the Great Ones are sympathetic in nature, which is important. That means they can relate to us or, you know, feel with us, which is why I guess some hunters were able to beckon it. Okay, there's another enemy hiding here. Very, very, very dangerous if you don't see her. She can actually follow you and do a grab attack that takes off 3/4 of your HP. I think at this point she will just one-shot us. So this is a bit of a dangerous area. Coming here, there are two reasons coming here early on. First reason, you get a lot of twin bloodstone shards here. It's one of your first areas where you can get a lot of them. Second thing, you can farm a lot of blood echoes. Although I never ever farm in Dark Souls and Bloodborne games, they're just made in a way that you don't need to farm. However, for this playthrough, I want our character to be as strong as possible, you know, to show almost the full potential of an arcane build. I don't want it to make it, it's not a challenge run, you know? Oh, no. We just burned this thing alive. And by the way, if you come later on to this area without coming here, you will find this door closed. Opening it here now will help you a ton once you come back here to this area. And when do you come back to this area? You come back from this door, which is closed at the moment. But you come early on here, it has different placements. There's also a note here, let's read that. Nightmarish rituals crave a newborn. Find one and silence its harrowing cry. So it's talking about a baby. And here, if you want to go back to the hunter's dream. Let's continue our path over here. The second reason is to get a weapon, which we will find very soon. I'll talk about it once we get it. Also, you see this pig? There are two pigs here. They actually can kill all the enemies here, so they can hit other enemies. One of the cool ways, but I don't want to do it here, I don't want to waste time, is you can aggro the two pigs. There's one here at the stairs, and the second one, I'll show you where it is in a second. You can actually aggro both of them, and they end up killing each other, which is super cool. Or you can just kill this guy, keep the second. The second is over there on the left. And you can see over there, there's a ton of enemies. So what I can do, I can actually aggro this guy and just rush there, and he kills everything on his way while he's trying to attack me. But I don't want to waste time. So let's kill this guy quickly and swiftly. You can see it does a ton of damage to the charge attack. He's dead. Rest in peace, piggy pig. There's an item over here, bolt paper. Everything that has to do with bolt is actually relevant to a character that we never meet. We will read about him in a bit. See, the flame sprayer makes things super easy here. Almost one-shot kill. But yeah, as I said, I want to show the full potential of Arcane. Not full, because full means grinding Chalice dungeons like all the way, the best ones. I won't do that because I already did that. At some point, as I said, I will show the fully fledged Arcane build later on. And as an Arcane build, using Molotov Cocktail, as I said, is very important. See, it's a one-shot kill. This dog. I'm gonna die. But when the dog is aggro, they're pretty fast, so forget the Molotov cocktail at that point. So let's kill this guy. The Snatcher. So he's buffing himself, another chance to kill him. Or to backstab him, sorry. None of them dropped Twin Blunt Stone Shard. We were a bit unlucky. Okay, here's the weapon. Tonitrus. So, the Tonitrus. Let's read the description on it. A unique trick weapon contrived by Archibald, which is the guy I was talking about. This is the guy that is responsible for all the bolt, you can say, in this game, all the bolt damage. He's like, what's his name? Tesla? The real name scientist. You can say he's an influence from him. The infamous eccentric of the Healing Church Workshop. Striking this peculiar iron morning star flail like a match generates the same blue sparks that blanket a dark beast. Interesting. Unfortunately, for reasons untold, the hunter of Archibald's time did not fully take to the device. So this weapon never saw actual use. Let me say it clearly and boldly. This is the best weapon in the game, in your first playthrough. No ifs or buts. It's the best weapon in the game, and it's very unfortunate as I dislike it heavily. This thing is super boring to use. It has almost all identical moveset, as you can see, basically just throwing this around. There's not a lot of diversity, not a lot of range. The only thing that's good is super duper damage. There's no transform mode. You can just buff it. It gets stays buff for like 7 seconds, and then you press L1 and buff it again. The good thing to do is just, like do rolling L1, quick step L1 to keep it buffed. I dislike this weapon. I think a lot of people who followed my old videos know this, because I think it's a pretty boring weapon, although it is the strongest. And the reason we got it now is, of course, we're an Arcane build. Second of all, it actually makes the first boss we want to kill in Chalice dungeons very easy. Very, very easy. So let's just continue here, this area, explore it more, although we finished our main goal here. But I'm pretty sure, yes, here, the message is here. Behold, a pale blood sky. Once we come around here again, the sky will be a bit different. So remember the sky at this moment. Let's take the Madman's Knowledge. I think all of them are Madman's Knowledge. You can see these people are also wearing Healing Church attire. These dead or whatever these things, they died while they're praying. So I guess they reached the higher plane, that's why they dropped Madman's Knowledge. And here we got another piece of equipment, Yahargul. Yahargul's armor. Let's read the description on there. Thick black pullover worn by hunters of the unseen village. The hunters of Yahar'gul answer to the village's founders, the School of Mensis. Hunters in name only, these kidnappers blend into the night wearing this attire. Designed primarily to defend from physical attacks, the binding of thick rope serves both to protect its wearer and restrain his foes. So these guys are, you know, connected to Mensis, the School of Mensis, which we'll know about later on. So the only thing left here is a bit here, which I don't want to waste a lot of time, so let's just run past them and take the items. You can see a Snatcher with 2 dogs. You can actually just hide over here, but I think they caught us anyways. You can just run. There's, I think, an item over here. Twin Bloodstone Shard. And here. This opens up another floor we didn't go to. It's better to come from here since these bastards can also grab you like the other one, which can also one-shot you, as I told you. But the music, if you can hear the music from afar, this place is designed in a way to make you feel uncomfortable, you can say. We got this guy, these 2 of these guys got aggroed. Okay, shit, he went phase 2 early on. Let's go here. There's also an optional boss here which we're going to be fighting. Also linked to Archibald or whatever his name, the scientist. Let's just run over here. So once they go phase 2, the Snatchers, they are extremely aggressive. Oh shit, I don't have my gun. I took a shot, a near perfect shot. I'm pretty sure it would have been a parry. Okay, I'm dead. Oh no, I'm not dead. Okay, fuck them. Let's just skip them. Go to the boss. Alright. See the boss over there sleeping? So this is our first encounter with the Darkbeast. Darkbeast usually they use the power of Bolt. Actually buying Hemwick's armor, which I didn't buy unfortunately, from the inside shop, he has the one of the highest resistance to Bolt in the game. So it's a good idea to have that one at this point. However, this boss is pretty easy if you stay aggressive, since he stays stunned. Oh shit, okay, I pressed up for some reason. Let's buff this thing. Okay, let's go. See the damage he does is no good. Flame sprayer fucks him up. This is a beast, he's weak to fire. Where's our riposte? In this bit. And if you hit him enough, he loses his bolt. See, he buffs himself again. So with the Arcane, he's just spraying this. So he gets stunned. Then attack him with your weapon. This guy makes the camera a bit of a hassle, and I would say this one is one of the toughest bosses to fight in Chalice dungeons, but not here. Although he's gonna kill me because I said that. The damage he does is pretty scary, so you wanna watch out. We'll give him another shot. Okay, let's hope we get him this time. Took the risk, I said, you know what, it's done. We're using also Bone Marrow Ash, if you remember, from the front. Keep them down. Screw up some of the bullets. $21,000 blood echoes and Spark Hunter badge, pretty cool. He's an optional boss, you don't need to actually kill him, but you'll see why we kill him. First off, the badge gives us some items. You can buy Bolt, also from him. So let's check the new item, the new badge he gave us. Badge crafted in secret by Archibald, the infamous eccentric of the Healing Church, for his friends. Archibald was fascinated by the blue sparks that emanate from the hides of the dark beasts, and dedicated his life to its artificial reproduction, in a style of inquiry that, incidentally, closely followed the mythology of Bergenworth. So this guy, he's the reason behind the bolt damage, my friends. He's the reason behind the bolt damage. And also the Dark Beast. It's very, very curious what Dark Beast is at this point of the game when you're playing. But we'll learn about them more. But do you see where we at now? Old Yharnam. So this place is connected to Old Yharnam. You'll have no idea about that until you open this door, which is super cool. However, this shortcut only serves one purpose, and that's because of Djura. Remember the NPC that was shooting us with a Gatling gun? So now we're gonna run to him. I won't be talking at the time, so I can fast forward. But the reason for coming from here, he actually doesn't see us from the entrance, and also don't kill any beast on your way. So before I talk to this guy, just let you know, because he's gonna be talking while we're playing, is he gives two options: kill the beast or don't kill the beast. And if you choose to kill the beast, he goes against you, and if you don't kill the beast, he's with you and he gives you an item. I'm gonna show both outcomes. So first I'm gonna say no, don't kill the beast, then I'm gonna say yes, I'm gonna kill the beast. So you're gonna see two outcomes, and he has very, very interesting dialogue. And by the way, if you don't know, this guy has the same voice actor as Vendrick from Dark Souls 2, which I think is one of the better voice actors in the franchise. He's also Chester from Dark Souls 1, same voice actor from that. So he has a lot of recurring roles. I'm pretty sure he has more roles, but I can't think of them now. So let's go up and talk to Djura. And then I'm gonna go upgrade some weapons, the tonitrus from in the Hunter's Dream. And we get also my favorite gesture, by the way.
Well, well. How did you get in here? It's no matter. What brings you to Old Yharnam? I've no interest in matters further up, but you must not disturb this place. The beasts do not venture above, and mean no harm to anyone. If you still insist on hunting them, then I will hunt you first. You understand me? Of course. I thought as much. You are a true hunter, which is why I must stop you. Yes, very good. I no longer dream, but I was once a hunter too. There's nothing more horrific than a hunt. In case you fail to realize, the things you hunt, they're not beasts. They're people. One day you will see. It's time you got going. But first, a farewell gift. I have no use for it anyway. What is it? Surely I need not repeat myself. Go, I say. You have the whole night to dream. Make the best of it. Is it the blood, or are you just raving mad? When the frail of heart join the fray, the hunter becomes the hunted. Then come as often as you like, and I will show you another death. But remember one thing. You're not hunting beasts. It's you. You're the beast. Just think about what you're doing. It's utter madness.
So Djura telling us I no longer dream and he used to hunt like us. This is one of the biggest mysteries in the game. Especially with Eileen, Alfred, or let's say not Alfred, Djura and Eileen. They're hunters who already hunted and they finished the hunt and they're yet still in Yharnam. Eileen, we know that once she kills you, she tells you, hey, did you say hi to the doll, which is very interesting. That means she knows the freaking doll. So they actually played this, yet they still in Yharnam. It's extremely weird, and he also tells us that beasts are, you know, humans, which he's right about that. However, it's, you know, it's debatable if it's moral, if we kill them or not, because they attack us too. We're gonna be entering the Chalice dungeons now. To enter the Chalice dungeons, you need Ritual Blood 1. Let's see what it says. Use the Ritual Altar to create a Chalice dungeon with a Chalice Ritual, or to search for Chalice dungeons created by hunters in other worlds. So let's do our first static or storyline Chalice dungeon. There are 4, if you can see in the upper left, there are 3 or 4 different chalices you can get. The only one we have at the moment is Temiro. We have depth 1, each one has 5 depths. However, for example, Aya's Z Chalice starts from depth 4. There is no 1, 2, or 3. You only find 4 and 5. 5 is the most deepest and the lowest point and the most difficult. Now, in order to get a fire weapon, we need to come here. So it's a shared, it says shared fixed dungeon. This was fixed after patch way after months after release of the game. It used to be like all ordinary dungeons, where if you do even a static one, the story one, it will give you a random code. So now it's much better after they patched this. So you have to pay 1,000 and you need 2 Ritual Blood 1. Let's go ahead. And of course you need the Chalice, which we got from Blood-Starved Beast. So ladies and gentlemen, the ritual is finished and the Chalice rests upon the altar. You may now explore the dungeon. So this is our first Chalice dungeon. But before we continue, since we're going there to do our first fire weapon, so we need some Hunter's Mark so we can farm. In this game, the bonfire doesn't reset enemies like in Dark Souls. So you need to get Hunter's Mark, which is basically the same as what's it called? Homeward Bone from Dark Souls. Let's buy 10. So use them to farm. I will show you how to farm your first fire gems, which is pretty easy. And let's level up the rest.
Very well, let me...
Alright, let's go to our first Chalice dungeon. Temiro Labyrinth Layer 1. This is the only time I'm gonna show the process going to the boss. And after that, anything I do Chalice dungeons, I will just show the boss. I will show the concept here, and then I won't show it again because it's too time consuming. We will never finish this playthrough if I'm gonna show all the Chalice dungeons. So basically, you can see there's a door over there. That's the door that takes you to the boss. However, in order to open it, you have to find a switch. That goes for all Chalice dungeons in the game. Every layer you go to, you find the switch, you open the door, and you go to the boss. So the process of getting the switch I won't show in the next Chalice dungeons or the next bosses. So this is the first time we see these kind of traps. We also saw them in Dark Souls. So we never see them in the main playthrough in Bloodborne. Thank God they brought them back here. Shit. And also don't forget, also there are hidden walls in Dark Souls that are not in Bloodborne. However, you can find hidden walls here. So at first, these are all new enemies you never see in Blood and the main game. Even this one, or no, sorry, we see this one. This is like the bell-ringing woman. Basically, in the Chalice dungeon version of her, she summons stronger enemies. Did you realize they died after I killed her? By the way, these are the enemies who drop fire gems, but we're gonna find a better farming spot for them in this dungeon. And that requires us of killing the first boss. So this is another enemy you only find in Chalice Dungeon. Chalice Dungeons are pretty easy, first 3 layers. And then they get way more difficult, and they don't increase in difficulty with NG pluses, so they always stay the same difficulty. So the reason we got the tonitrus, it makes the boss much easier. It's our first access to bolt weapons. So this weapon has arcane and strength scaling. If you look at it, it has a C in strength and D in bolt. So it's mainly a strength weapon, and you do gain more consistent damage with the strength. However, the buff does increase drastically with arcane. That's why it's the only weapon, or one of the only weapons we're going to be using, one of 2 I believe, that has split damage. All the rest we're going to be using is pure damage, and I'll explain that in 1 second. Let me just kill these guys. So in the game there are 2 types of arcane weapons. There are ones that are pure physical that you turn into arcane. So let's say the Ludwig. It's pure physical at the moment now, but once you put an arcane gem on it, it will transfer all the physical damage into whatever gem you put it. So if you put fire, all the damage goes to fire. However, there are some weapons that come split, like this one that has already bolt and physical. These weapons cannot be transformed into fully arcane damage, or bolt or fire or arcane damage. There's also arcane damage. So the way you want to use them is you want to have, usually they come in the form of strength and arcane. 99% of the time. The only one I can think of is the burial blade, which is skill and arcane, and the arcane on it is not worth it. It's a skill weapon. Even it appeals more to strength than arcane. So most other weapons that don't scale purely from arcane or don't have pure arcane damage, like the Ludwig's Holy Blade, usually they're best to have nourishing gems on them. Nourishing gems increase both physical and any damage, so they increase all types of damage at the same rate. So this first boss I think is the most difficult for a long time. It is the most difficult boss all until the 4th depth. So this one is the first major hurdle to continue in the Chalice Dungeon. But once you kill him, almost like the next 6-7 bosses are pretty easy. So this guy, you want to treat him like a Dark Souls 1 boss. You don't want to be aggressive, fully aggressive. You want to counter attack. They also have weak spots, these guys, which is I got here from the back. So once you blow it, a lot of damage. He takes a lot of damage. He's weak to bolt. That's why we're doing tremendous damage. He can one-shot us though, so you have to watch out. Never underestimate this guy. So tonitrus makes this fight very easy, to be honest. If you get a +3 or 4 weapon here, it'll be a difficult fight. It'll be definitely a difficult fight, but since we upgraded our tonitrus to +6, by the way, it's our first +6 weapon. You're a beast, bro. As I said, this is the best weapon to get in your first playthrough. It's just beast all around. It makes the game way too easy, to be honest. And it's a boring weapon, unfortunately. So now we're very close to the farming spot. Our first farming spot. So there are 3 farming spots at the beginning. It depends how deep you want to go through the Chalice dungeons. So your first access, which is most people get their first fire gems from here, from this layer. However, since I want to show the full potential, I'm going to go through with other bosses to get the better ones. The farming starts here. So once you open this and you return from the Hunter's Dream to this, the Hunter Mark will always bring you back here. So you come over here, you run. And with Arcane, by the way, let me continue. Let me talk about something. Arcane, by the way, the word Arcane means it's a mystery. It's not known what it means exactly. But Arcane in this game not just increases your arcane damage and all that. It also increases your discovery, which let me show you. You see it's under the stamina. It says 174. If you don't have no arcane, usually it starts around 100. The more arcane you have, the higher discovery you have, which in a way means you have more insight or more knowledge in the world, which means you will discover more. So it's related to the mechanics too, which is very fascinating. But for us, it makes farming much easier for Arcane build. So it's much easier coming here as an Arcane build than coming with a normal build. So okay, so you take from the lamp. Where was the lamp? Sorry, I'm lost a bit. Okay, the lamp over here. You take a left. You just run over here. 2 of them drop. Okay, I fucked up over here. Okay, they didn't drop anything, but you use a Hunter's Mark and you keep killing them that way. Hunter's Mark, since you're close to the lamp, the loading screen is pretty quickly. However, I think they will return us to the lamp that okay, they return to this lamp. So you do this. Come, run again. You one-shot them with this. So even with Arcane, they're not dropping. It's basically luck, in my opinion. Let's try one more. If it didn't work, I'll just farm off camera. And then after I get all the gems, I will show you. Let's try one more. And usually drop a cursed fire gem. So it has a negative attribute to it. So you want to farm as many as you can so you can choose the best out of them. Hopefully. Okay, blood vial. Okay, one more. I just want to show you an example. Because, you know, just to know how to get these. And they are radial, by the way. The gems that they drop. So you can only use them on radial weapons. Usually, all the weapons we have usually have 2 radials. As you can see here, has 2 radials. 2 radials, 2 radials, 2 radials. Basically, every weapon you have is 2 radials. So you want 2 proper good gems from here. And remember, we had the waning 1, so we can actually have a fully fledged fire weapon now. I'm just getting unlucky. I keep saying one last time, but it seems it's never gonna happen on camera. Okay, I got bored, to be honest. I also don't wanna make the video very long. So they definitely drop fire gems, don't worry. However, I won't farm from these guys. I want to farm even better fire gems. And in order to do that, we need to go to higher depths and higher, or also bigger, what they call it, better chalices. So once we finish this dungeon, we get another dungeon and so on and so forth. So we want to reach the 3rd one to get, you know, the best one we can get now, since the bosses are pretty easy. So now I'm just going to cut it to the chase and go to the bosses. So here's our 2nd boss. It's actually 3 bosses, so it's a very common boss fight in Chalice dungeons. The Watchers. So the gun guy, you want to keep him to the end. They're also weak to Arcane and Bolt, but mostly Arcane. Thumerians are always weak to Arcane. That's why Arcane damage is not very important for the main playthrough, as most enemies are either weak to Fire or Bolt. Usually you want to parry these guys, but since we do too much damage with a tonitrus, no need. Okay, we got rid of this guy. This is the final boss now for this dungeon. He actually also drops fire gem, which is good also for us. Watchdog of the Old Lords. Also, this guy, you want to fight him like a Dark Souls style boss. You want to take your time and counter every hit he does. You don't want to go full aggressive with this guy. This is not a Bloodborne type fight. This is a Dark Souls type fight. Ouch. shit. I was being too aggressive, to be honest. Okay, let's hope we get him this time. You just don't want to be very aggressive with this guy. You want to take your time, but I'm just being stressed for no reason, to be honest. Okay, this is a free attack. It's better to hit him from the front legs. He just thumbs him faster. But then after that you want to pull out since he does an explosion. But this guy can be extremely... He's one of the most difficult bosses in the game in the later dungeons, in my opinion. In a cursed dungeon especially. The range on this thing is just bad. Ouch, ouch, no, chill out, bro. Back out for an explosion. Okay, another explosion. And that also indicates that he's going to the next phase, which increases some of his attacks. Like for example, this one becomes a 3-hit combo. Ouch. Okay, I was lucky. Okay, I don't want to get greedy there. Okay, I think he's dead now. Alright. So now we should get a fire gem. It's a guaranteed one. With no cursed attribute, so you can see fire blood gem. And central Themuru chalice. So now we can go to the next layer, or next depth of the chalice dungeons. Let's take a look at the central Themuru, a chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal, but only a root chalice changes the shape of the old labyrinth when used in a ritual. The old labyrinth was carved out by the Thumerians, superhuman beings that are said to have unlocked the wisdom of the eldritch truth. So now we begin to understand the chalice dungeons. And these, you remember when I said Tomb of the Gods in the first episode? They actually mean Thumerians, the superhuman beings. They actually know the tricks of the old great ones, or sorry, the great ones. However, now it's different. Once they used to, now the situation is different once we are in Yharnam, or once we're in the game. So now let's go to the next chalice dungeon and fight the boss there. So guys, now we are in Central Themuru. This is our first boss. Actually, I don't know which boss this is. I don't remember. But we'll find out now after we open the door. Okay, this is the beast possessed soul. Remember the one we saw in the workshop, lower workshop? I told you there's only one in playthrough, so here we see him again. The damage he does is no joke. He's usually weak to fire, like most beasts, even though he controls fire. told you he's easy to parry since he spams a lot. Okay, he's dead. They don't give a lot of blood echoes here at the beginning of the Chalice dungeons, but they do increase drastically later on. But we won't reach the point where we can get a lot of blood echoes at this point, since I want to reach a specific spot so I can farm my blood gems. So I'll see you in the next boss. Alright, Keeper of the Old Lords. Another person who likes to manipulate fire. Oh, he buffed. Now he's way stronger after he buffs. That's the second phase. Now he has attacks that actually have guaranteed combos. You have to watch out. We have limited blood vials. Now when it comes to the tonitrus, why is it so special? I told you, it's our first bolt weapon, and it's extremely strong since it does blunt damage. However, the catch here is you have to repair it a lot, like a lot. Come on. Okay. Blood of Ariana. Oh, that's all it increases. I think it increases also our stamina regen. Okay, I'm dead. Once he buffs, he's way more difficult to stun. Come on! Let's hopefully get him this time around. I think with this guy, he has guaranteed stun locks like Dark Souls. If he gets like a hit, he can get more hits in. Don't buff, don't make him buff. Now he doesn't get stunned like normal. Thank God. Oh, we lost our blood echoes. Now is our last boss in this Chalice dungeon. I don't know exactly who it is, to be honest. I don't remember. But after this is the last boss we need to kill. And after this we can farm whatever, you know, the fire gems that we want. So this is the last boss we need to kill now. Okay, now I know who is this. Themerian Elder, I believe his name. Themerian Descendant. So this is the Themerian, a race of superhumans who found the Eldritch Truth. And he killed me in 2 seconds. Oh man, we missed the backstab. He's now unstunnable. Or very difficult to stun at least. If we got the backstab, he would have been much easier. Like many bosses in this game. Okay. Now the nice thing about the tonitrus, it will be our only weapon, or you can say the second weapon where we're able to use the Beast Blood Pellet, since it does actually inflict physical damage. It actually inflicts more physical damage than Bolt. So let's use this on this motherfucking boss. He's pretty difficult, to be honest. Where's our particles? Chill out. At this point, I'm just spamming my gun. reach is just so bad on the tonitrus. Okay, expected a parry there. Okay, Old Hunter 1 actually helps here. Okay, we got our backstab. If you don't backstab him here, he becomes unstunnable in the second phase. Thank God we got him before he went to his second phase. Cold Down Blood Gem. It's a good arcane gem. Let's read the Lower Thumerian. Chalice. A chalice that breaks a labyrinth seal. But only a root chalice changes the shape of the old labyrinth when used in a ritual. The old labyrinth was carved out by the Thumerians, superhuman beings that are said to have unlocked the wisdom of the Eldritch Truth. Okay, this is exactly the same description as Central Thumerian Chalice. So, the root chalice, by the way, just to give an explanation on Chalice Dungeon. So usually there are 3 or 4 bosses in every Chalice Dungeon. And usually the runner-up boss, the one before the final, gives you the root version. So this root version, Central Thumerian Root Chalice, is the one that we actually do. If we do it, is actually a random generated dungeon instead of a static storyline dungeon. So if you want to go further and explore more, you can do this and do some offerings. But we won't be doing that, so we don't waste more time. So we finished this Chalice dungeon. Our mission is finished. Now let's go to the next one and show you the farming spot. We're back in the Hunter's Dream. Let me just show you what we've done. This is the first Chalice we've done. The Mirror Labyrinth. Central Labyrinth, we also finished this one too. Now it's time to do the third one. And the last one for today. The Lower Thumerian Chalice. It costs 3,200 and you require 9 Ritual Blood 3. Let's go ahead and do it. And let me show you the farming spot that I'm gonna be farming in. So we're in Lower Thumerian Labyrinth Layer 1. Let me show you the route for the farming. So you open this extra or bonus dungeon over here. These are considered bonus. Usually you go straight, but usually you want to come here to get the material anyway to continue to the next Chalice dungeon. So it's pretty important to go to these bonus layers. Run, run, run. Take this item. You jump over here. Take this door. And they drop down here. You see, these are the enemies who drop fire. So you want to farm those. They're pretty powerful, more powerful than ones in the first dungeon. So didn't drop anything. Didn't drop anything. But this is definitely the farming route. So I'm going to be farming them off camera. And then I'll show you the gems I end up getting from them. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, we finished our farming of the gems. Now let's go upgrade our Ludwig to +6 and equip the fire gems on it. So 45. Now let's look at the Ludwig's Holy Blade. If you look at the upper right, the waning is closed, the waning gem slot. So once we go to +6, it will open up. You can see it now, it's open. Now let's equip the gems. Alright, so here's the fiery ones we have. It actually took a long time to get the farming. Usually people farm in the first spot that I showed in Chalice Dungeons. In my opinion, it's the best one. So the Cursed Fire Gem, this one has 15% 15.8% fire up, attack physical 6.6, increase stamina cost 2.5%. This is one of the good ones. Let's equip this. The second one we're going to be equipping, fire 15.8, weapon durability up, attack versus beast down. We don't want to equip that because the boss we're going to be fighting is a beast, so it's a bad idea to equip this one. We have this one, the punishment. You remember when I told you when there's a cursed gem, there's always a downside of having having the cursed gem. So the downside on this gem is the weapon durability down -45. This is the one we're going to be picking. And the third one is the one we got in the beginning of the game, if you remember. We got it next to the workshop, close to the workshop, somewhere around Cathedral Ward, if you remember. It was our first Arcane gem. So now let's see how much damage we have on the fire. So right hand, which weapon is it? It's the right hand weapon 2. So 345 pure fire damage. Now another thing, remember we talked to Djura? So we took a badge from him, which is the Power Keg Hunter. Badge crafted by the Power Kegs, the heretics of the workshop. The Power Kegs' adornment of complex design and big booms culminated in weapon designs that contrast with those traditionally of the workshop. The late Powder Kegs, bless their souls, had a motto: if a weapon ain't got kick, it just ain't worth it. So there are one reason why we took this, of course, other than doing Djura's quest, is we need to buy an item. We don't need to, but it actually enhances fire weapons greatly. Oil urns, you can see that they're not cheap, 680. The good things about it is when you throw oil urn on somebody, you have a limited time. If you hit them with a fire weapon or any fire damage, they will take, I believe, 50% more damage. I don't know the exact increase, but it's considerable, especially on weapons. So let's see how many we'll buy. Let's buy 30 of those for now. But also you can buy a new weapon after getting his badge, which is the Stake Driver, a trick weapon fashioned by the workshop heretics, the Power Kegs, favored by the retired hunter Djura. The Stake Driver, with its queerly complex design, violently drives thick stakes into the flesh of foes. The Stake Driver allows for high damage critical attacks, but is difficult to use and it leaves its wielder wide open. But none of this should bother a mere Power Keg. I would say this weapon does very good damage, very solid damage, one of the highest damaging charge attacks, but the range is just abysmal. It has like the shortest range in the game. Range is very important, I would say. I would say that's why it makes it one of the least, one of the, you can say low tier, although the damage is high tier, top tier. So now let's just level up with our extra blood echoes. All go to Arcane, although we're gonna be needing a bit of endurance and vitality soon. Now it's better not to leave blood echoes with you in case you die. So the rest just put it on blood echoes, blood vials and Quicksilver bullets. We have a lot of Quicksilver bullets, so we put all of them on the blood echoes. Blood vials. I don't know why I keep saying blood echoes. So now let's go to Cathedral Ward and fight our next boss. So the next boss, I have to say, let's not forget that Bloodborne was the first game I played after Dark Souls 2, and the improvement on bosses was very, very drastic. This boss, the first time I lost to this boss, was from sheer fear. I'm not joking. I was like, wow, what is this thing? I was like, I was actually scared from the boss with her shouts and screams and the way how big she is and how she moves. But when you look at it, it's a fairly easy boss, especially when you have a fire weapon. So let's equip now the oil urn. So throw this and then do like a charge attack, and let's see how much damage we'll do. So if you walk closely here, you can actually hear some dialogue from her. And she does talk for a long time. So let's go in now.
Let us pray.
Their wills are weak, minds young. Were it not for fear, death.
very intimidating, you have to admit that. The smart thing to do with the fire weapon is to use actually the soul cleaver or the soul spear, since you do 20% extra against beasts. But I just promised myself I won't be using it. Oh, chill out. Okay, let me just concentrate. I'm really bad with my timings today. Look, I just went right into her attack. I'm having trouble hitting her with this thing. So the best way to fight her is to be extremely aggressive. It's not working with me for some reason. I'm being extremely bad. Okay, I do deserve to die, to be honest, how badly I'm playing. Okay, I do deserve that big time. Big time. You know, I have to say, today, my gameplay is very, very weak. Like, I am not able to... Even if I'm trying to dodge, I'm not able to dodge for some reason. In time. Because this boss, like, the last time I lost to this boss, I can't even remember. Wow, look at that damage with the Ludwig Soul, the Fire Ludwig Soul Blade. I should have went for another charge or two there. Let's throw another Void Orb. Don't give her any chance to breathe. Although I want to hit her with another oil urn, I really want to, but... He's healing. You should stun her, try to stun her. Okay, we got her. Although she's an easy boss, I have to say, I don't know how I died first time around. Like, especially with our level and weapons at this point, you should be super easy. I usually come here under leveled. So we got a gold pendant, let's read that. Pendant of Vicar Amelia. Used to change into a blood gem which fortifies weapons. This pendant, passed down among the vicars who had the healing church, is a reminder of the cautionary adage. To reveal the adage, touch the altar's skull. So it's basically telling us what to do. Also, Vicar Amelia is a very, very interesting character in the plot line. It's not very clear her role, but we know she's a vicar, which is a high position in a religion, I guess. So let's watch the cutscene now.
Master Willem, I've come to bid you farewell.
Oh, I know. You think now to betray me.
No, but you will never listen. I tell you, I will not forget our adage.
We are born of the blood, made men by the blood, undone by the blood. Our eyes are yet to open.
Fear the old blood. I must take my leave.
By the gods, fear it, Lawrence.
So we see the departure of Florence and from Willem, the departure of these two. Actually, at this point, I think Bergenworth only existed at the time we see the cutscene. But Lawrence wanted to experiment with blood, while Willem did not want to do that. He wanted to do a different thing because he thought that the old blood is worthy to fear. He always says, you know, fear the old blood. But we will talking about the lore in the next episode more. I know I rushed this episode a bit, but I really wanted to move on and, you know, try to show the arcane stuff as early as possible. So that's it for this episode, my fellow hunters, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.